gentlemen, welcome back to the shop. Thanks for joining me today on the Blue Collar Tax. We're going to do a fuck all Friday, even though it's Wednesday, which is not Venus's day, but mercredi. Mercury, that's perfect because we got all kinds of hairs straight back. We're going to build a tool for to hold camshafts on a fired engine, what you bar over, and you can't buy the Jesus thing in any amount of skookumness, so we're going to make it for our fellow with the Town Pump CNC. Also, I got all kinds of things to do. I crashed the concertina, so I got to fix that. We got to do the trap line. We'll start the fire. We'll do some aluminum casting, all kinds of stuff. So thanks for joining me in the shop for a chortle, a chuckle, and maybe a bit of a waffle. Good morning, Confusion 360. You've been uncharacteristically amenable. What's your angle? Here's the tool. It's got an interesting speed hole here. This sits on something, and this locks the two camshafts in place. The problem with the one you get from Ferd, it ain't skookum enough, it bends. So we're going to modify this a little bit for ease of manufacture. You can see all this material here. We're going to make this out of tool steel, of course, which is pricey and hard to machine, hardened tool steel. So why have the speed hole when you can just put your two fingers either side and carry it? And then it's heavier too. So we're going to change it to something more like, but first, we got to fix the concertina. Yeah. Just a blonde one, too deep. I took that orange rice off because it was fantangulated way out there. And then smashy, smashy in the trashy. How are you going to fix that? By not doing it in the first, but hindsight being 50, 90, it was bound to happen eventually. I think we'll take off these fasteners. Well, we'll climb in there, have a look-see, but I believe we'll end up taking the fasteners out from the bottom side, pulling that whole rail off, trying to bang her back into place. We're right in the throes of January here in the People's Republic of Kazakhstan. However, I do like me a warm fire. These traps got to be cleaned out, but this one hasn't been working all that well. They're getting wily. They just eat the butter on the bottom side. Don't bother with the stuff what kills them. These still work just fine. Carefuling. It's like being on a demining crew. I know you kind and noble friends don't care about these petty vanities, but that girl like Screech, it wasn't me. I'll send this handsome little fella off proper wise. Where'd you go? Godspeed, little Feifel. May we meet again in the happy hunting grounds. I got all kinds of this aluminum schwarf. Rather than taking it to the recycling, I've been trying to recycle it here. The silicon carbide crucible, the problem I've been having is the oxide of aluminum melts at a higher temperature than the raw metal. So we end up getting lots and lots of dross out of this, and it doesn't even really melt together. So what I'm trying to do here is put a base layer and then put solid chunks so that it melts, and as it melts through, it percolates through and melts the other ones. That's the thinking anyway. Welcome to the belly of the beast. Sorry about the shutter roll. These things are fantastic, but they do have a pulse width modulation that messes with the camera. I'm in here with the power off. I'd never understood fellas go in meat grinders 30 kilowatt meat grinders with the power still on. No spank you. I got kids to feed. This ain't my first rodeo, and this will not beat into place in place. We're gonna have to take that off. I believe the casting is behind here. These fasteners appear like if we took them all out, we'd be able to slide this concertina out. I've never seen the back of these. They're little fiber connectors, and that's the main Z-axis there. You see in the shadows grinning at us. So, ain't nothing but a little bulwark. Probably just muscle out of there. Yeah, there we go. Don't be afraid to give her a walk. Since we're heating the shop in the winter anyway, figured I'd pull out the old assay kiln. It's for gold prospecting. And melt down some ingots. And now a raucous rendition of Whitney Houston's greatest hit, Dust in a Baggie. I think I blew that one. Ba-dum-bum. Of note, like the first girl what let you in your knickers, the pyrometer blown the fuck out. Good thing you didn't marry her. Well, if you did, my condolences. Oh, she's tight. About 2 hours on full chooch. All right, let's make a plan here. Now, if this were part of the military industrial complex, we would have this machine down, order the part from some faraway place, and sit with our thumb and bum until the part came and somebody else replaced it for us. However, we invoked the spirit of what would Jesus do? I think he would nip that, cut it with a zip cut, make a new piece and weld it in there. That's pretty mantangulated. What I'm going to do is just cut this piece out and then order a new one. We can get it from Gene Haas's special store. But there's also a secret code on here, Dynatech. I'll look that up in case the Haas markup is so great that it makes your eyes bleed. Wouldn't surprise me. And in the interim, we'll still use this machine just with this section cut out. Rifling through Gene Haas's jars. Look at this. What a bargoon. Blowgun with the braided line. $35 hairs. Or a clipboard. I had no idea. Look at that. Smart. I thought that was for pencils there. That's for your USB sneakernet key. Only $200 for a clipboard. Oh, how much is that? If you gotta ask, you can't afford it. Claw! Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, tricky, that one. Tweak the design a little bit to suit the stock. We're going to come out cantilevered out of the vices and mill out those precision slots. I think this is 4140, had brown paint on the end of her. The internet's not working, so I can't check it. I've taken to not taking my phone everywhere with me. One, humans been around a long time, phones have not. And also, just because the radiation isn't ionizing, doesn't mean that there's not an inflammatory response from biological tissues, especially It's in your front pocket frying your nards. Also, I don't like the powers that be knowing who I associate with all the time. You know, I can pick and choose. I like the... It has to be a little mystery. Keep them interested. Now this is bass backwards. Normally you can find a part but not the service manual. Here's the service manual but not the part. Z-axis way cover installation. Look at this. Oh my. The chip gouges 6 and the mounting rails 5 may not be symmetric. Apparently this predates spell check. They got the X cover and the Y cover, but no Z cover. Maybe I ought to be looking for the Z cover. I'm gonna have to get in touch with Thomas Dick Skinner, the fucking sales guys. Heat and beat. In this case, just beat. Tip it, tip, tip. Good from far, but far from good. I got some stainless steel rod, 1/8. We'll burn through there and then we'll go to the MIG. But we'll at least give it an attempt to maintain the integrity of the nickel. It's 2 millimeters thick. Touch and go whether or not I burn through, but we'll ginger carefully, and then if it doesn't work, we'll get Miggy with it. Which has a different connotation now that we know. I freely admit, not my best work, uglier than a stump fence, but I take solace in the fact it's only temporary. Unless it works. She'll hold. Will it kill anybody if it breaks? No. Maim? No. It just hurts my pride. It's a good reminder. Not to be a doughhead. Look at this. Better than new 200-mile-an-hour tape on there. Good enough for Stanley Kubrick, Milan Man on the Moon. Good enough for the girls I go out with. Machined this ingot mold. We got various shapes and sizes. The wall has a 1 degree rather, draft angle. So I haven't used it yet. It's got no water in it, so it ought not explode. Yellow. Not quite. Oh, fuck yeah, boys. Look at that. No one would even ever know. When I go over the Rainbow Bridge, not that one. And my wife's got to divest herself of all this junk. You pick this up in 100 years or so. You'll know. Just quickly see if that repair is going to work. Stick some grease on there. I'm sure it'll be fine till it ain't. I just set the built-in anti-idiot alarm so we won't wreck that concertina anymore. There's that Y-axis travel limit. It's successfully set, so it won't go further than that. Pucker factor eliminated. Oodles of room. You drive a truck through there. Fascinating here. You can see the shrink. As it cools, it shrinks down in the middle, past that meniscus. High surface tension in liquid metal, apparently. I got the spindle speed variation on, just because we're kind of cantilevered out there. Let me adjust your countenance for to see through that bukkake a little better. Now you know how you're. I haven't run this program. I want to make sure I'm not going to hit anything, so we're going to go single block, and that'll just do one command at a time, and then I'll watch the distance to go. Right now we got 80 thou, and I looked on the backside, we got plenty of clearance for 80 thou, so I'll hit the cycle smash. And now the next move is another 50 thou down. We got plenty of room for that, so I'll hit the cycle smash. Now you can see how much clearance height we had between the part and the jaw. Precisely a blonde one. That's why I was a little bit ginger careful on that one. Look at that, like 3/4 thou. Well, we got the dick in the vise. We'll just use the machinist approximators here. See if we're close. 3/4 thou. First time tight, second time all right. We're just going to contour that real quick. And we'll open that up by 5 thou. Ding! Dead nuts. The question is, why did it take so long? It'll probably be a lot quicker if you did it. You ought to show me sometime how it's done. There you have it. Another job. Well done. Town Pump CNC. Thanks to you fellas for helping a fellow fool on a stool out with a proper tool. I like making tools. Thanks for watching. Keep your dick in a vise. Well, let's have a look at this. See if it comes out. Yeah.